part of the current review with Central News Live, supported by the Unsaid Podcast with Tebogo, supported by the TT Hookup with Thamsanqa Tu. My name is Thamsanqa Tu. Easily, you can just say TT. And we are with Tebogo Kotsi, Kopane. Welcome to the current review. We're hoping that you are well this morning.
Good morning, my brother, and thank you so much for inviting us.
It's our pleasure. It's our pleasure. Before we get into the gist of our conversation today, I just want you to give us a picture of how well is Action SA growing in the Free State province.
My brother, if you remember, this party is about 3 years old. It was established in 2020 during the hard lockdown. And if you remember, after Mr. Herman Mashaba left in 2016 as a mayor of Joburg, many people said that you have done so much in Gauteng. Can you please come and establish your own party? And through people's dialogue, he was expecting about 1 million people to come and tell him why he should start his own party. But people, they approach him to say that, please establish his party. And I'm excited. We stood the first municipal elections where we campaigned through social media. We became the 6th biggest party during that time. And we only contested into 6 municipalities out of 276 municipalities. So we beat even the biggest party. So we're a growing party. Currently, we are having provincial chairperson in all 9 provinces. And here in the Free State, I'm a provincial chairperson since from 2022, September, when I was appointed as a provincial chairperson. So we're doing very well. We're growing in all 18 municipalities in the Free State. We do have structures there. So we're really growing. We're on the media. We're everywhere. So people, they really now started to understand what is Action SA. So I think come to these elections, they know that there is an alternative. So they'll definitely vote for Action SA. We just come from our exciting and a historic moment where we had our policy conference, where people, they know why they should vote for Action SA. So we are not a spaza shop party. This conference had more than 1,000 people who were there. We consulted with the experts in South Africa, ordinary people from South Africa, even members of the party. So for 3 days, we had this policy conference. So we'll be able to have a manifesto that comes from the view of South African people.
And is your organization going to be campaigning for the national provincial government elections on the strategy of doing away with corruption, exposing corruption where it is, and perhaps maybe offering an alternative that is corrupt-free government? And I'm asking that because I've seen that your campaigns, especially the one that's running there in Matjhabeng, around the mayor or Thandu Kalipa, is about that. Now, is that the strategy, of campaigning for Action SA?
It's one of the strategy. Thamsanqa, you must remember, during the policy conference, one of the decisions that was taken was to fight corruption. We said corruption must be declared as enemy number 1 to South African people. And if you remember or you look at the political landscape and the situation in our country, we are where we are because of corruption and greediness and ethical leaders who wants to milk the states. The money or the taxpayers' money that's supposed to benefit the people of South Africa is not doing that to the people of South Africa. That's why one of the strategy as Action SA and the people of South Africa, they asked him and they say one of our pillar was to say, we want a party that will fight corruption. That's why in the Free State, everywhere, Action SA were fighting corruption, because corruption steals from the poor. The very same municipality that you just mentioned of Maluti, Matjhabeng. Matjhabeng is one of the municipality that is collapsed, is on the verge of collapse because of corruption, maladministration, poor governance, political interference, lack of political will to change the situation. And it is also not to respect the views of the people, not even to respect the constitution of this country. This is one of the strategies that we are using, but there are so many. We are one of the party that also fighting for the quality healthcare. Maybe I'm also talking from the background being, I was a professional nurse before I joined politics. So our public healthcare has collapsed. It's still said that there are people who still go to the clinic, our own grandmothers. They still queue from 4 o'clock, waiting to be seen by the sisters or by the health people at 8 o'clock. When they arrive there, there's no medication, there's nothing. There's a poor infrastructure when it comes to our healthcare system. So it's one of the things that during the policy conference, we want to make sure that we go to the basic. The healthcare should be governed by people who has knowledge about health. You can only do oversight on something that you know. I can't say somebody must be a head of the electricity department, but he can't even put a bulb, or he doesn't even know what is a globe. So as Actionsa, we want to professionalize our government so that people with required skills, those are the people that must be employed, people with integrity. We can't be taking people who are like now with the people who are going to apply as aspirant candidates. We are doing vetting because we cannot take people who steal, taxpayers' money. We make them to be the leaders and we expect something else. That is why our country where we are, all the politicians who are in the position of power, they just milk the states, they steal the money just for their self-enrichment, forgetting why they are there. That's why on daily basis, when you watch the news, it is said that as a country, corruption has eroded, what we wanted to do. And the other thing that is very important that we need to remember, as Actionsa, one of the things that we took a decision is about economic prosperity. Currently, our economy is not growing. Load shedding. Whenever there's load shedding, we need to be angry. Many businesses are closing down. Many people are losing they are become unemployed. Even the investor confidence is down. No one will come and invest in a country where there's no electricity, where there is no water. Many operations in hospitals is a backlog because electricity is not there. Many patients are dying because I was at National Hospital. They are only having about 4 generators. Some of the generators, they are not even working. So it clearly
and certainly many of these you would somehow link them to instances of corruption. Now, I want us to get back to
Definitely.
that theme around, can you please provide more details about the allegations against Matjhabeng mayor, with regards to allegedly using a service provider with the municipality to construct his home of 3.4 million.
Thank you, Thamsanqa. As Actionsa, one of my responsibility as the provincial chairperson is to crisscross all the province. Matjhabeng, make sure that is because it's one of the problematic municipality. I make sure once a week I'm in Matjhabeng. But what was even heartbroken for me when I'm in Matjhabeng, during the community meeting, people come with this lot of allegations. You read the newspaper, it's a lot of allegations against the mayor. So about this house of this house that was built, it is alleged that one of the service providers, we do have a name, but I'm not going to mention here. One of the service providers built a mansion of 3.4 million for the mayor, and it was really disturbing. Initially, we took it very light, But in different communities, I went to Allen Ridge, I went to Henneman, I went to Odendal. I spoke with the government officials, I spoke with other unions in the in Matjhabeng. They're all complaining about these alleged corruptions, especially this mansion that has been built for the mayor. And my worry was this municipality is graded as a B municipality. The salary of a mayor, it's about 1 million. He cannot have such a house. But we do know that the service provider, it is alleged that the service provider is the one who built that house for him. And that's why we ask the public protector to probe into these allegations, because they've been in the public domain. What is more worrying about this allegation is a list of them. I can mention them. One of the things that happened in Matjhabeng, if you remember why the assets of the vehicles, 24 vehicles were attached with the value of about 41 million, is because 3 of the service providers, anyway, their names, they're in the public domain. IOL publicized their names. That is one of those companies. The MC Security, Puseleso, Mutsuwaruna, they were owed by municipality 83 million. When they wanted the municipality to pay them, because they say they've rendered service to the municipality, it is alleged that the mayor demanded that they must pay 4 million bribe. And when they refused to do so, it is also alleged that the mayor, he instructed the CFO not to pay them. And after that happened, the very same companies, they approached the High Court in Bloemfontein, and the High Court served the municipality with the summons on the 10th of July, 2023. Those summons, they were to expire on the 7th of August. And the municipality, they ignored those summons. They never did anything. They just ignored the summons as they are. And then the sheriff of Welkom, because of the court judgment, they were to attach all those 24 vehicles that were the value of 41 million, including other cars. That's how the assets of the municipality were attached. And we need to understand those assets, those vehicles, they're the one that render service in the municipality. So this has a huge implications in terms of service delivery. Matjhabeng, it's, Matjhabeng everyone is swimming in a sewage, even if you are blindfolded. But when you arrive in Matjhabeng, the smells will tell you that you have arrived in Matjhabeng. Sanitation is something that is bad in Matjhabeng. I've been to Allen Ridge on the 26th of September. When I arrived in Allen Ridge, 2 sewage plants, they've collapsed. About 125 houses, they are immersed in the sewer. People have left their house. They are just destitute. Municipality didn't provide any support to them. Every time, all the ministers, they've been there. Minister Mkuni was there, I think it's 2 months ago. The minister, Mamuluko, she was also there, human settlement. They just every time just come and observe and they left. Nobody did anything. So
I want us to go back to this. Sorry, ma'am. I think we'll get right into that, your train of thought in just about a minute. But I want us to go back to the allegations of the house as well as the service provider. Now, you can't mention who the service provider is in that respect. I respect that, but are you able to say that that service provider, do they also have the misfortune of not having been paid in the list of the that long list of the service providers who lodged a complaint in the court leading to the attachment of the assets of the municipality? That particular service provider
it is not all the service provider that approach the court, including those the 3 that I've mentioned. There are other 2 that with the amount of 91 million. Chokman and Puselezo, they are the ones that also approach the court. So that's why all of them, the amount that is being owed to service providers is about 270 million. And
but does the
we should
municipality,
also remember,
does the municipality owe this one particular service provider who allegedly built the house for the executive mayor? I'm asking this, just to derive if you've got any preliminary evidence that that would be proof that indeed there is a corrupt relationship between the executive mayor and that particular service provider.
Thamsanqa, as I said to you, I'm not going for legal reasons. I'm not going to mention of the service provider, but it is obvious in Matjhabeng. There's always a problem with the service providers not being paid. Others, there's allegations that they're always being forced to pay the bribe. That's what matters here. And now one of those service provider who is being alleged to have built the house to the mayor, the house it says to be in Riebeekstad. The daughter of that service provider also happened to work in the office of the mayor. So that is why we ask the public protector, and this afternoon we're delivering the letter to investigate this matter, because all this, what I've just said, all these allegations, because they are also affecting the financial state of the municipality. We also ask the Auditor General to investigate, because if you remember on the 1st of October, actually on the 26th of September, the National Council of Province, that is the highest parliament in South Africa, they have a sitting where they noted a motion that about 24 vehicles were attached, 270 is being owed to different service provider. 5 billion is owed to the water board, 5 billion is owed to Eskom, and the National Council of Province, they've provided directives to the provincial executive. That means to the premier, to say that the premier, with immediate effect, he must intervene in terms of Section 139 of the Constitution, Section 139(5) of the Constitution, that clearly says that government can take over must take over the finance of the municipality, and they must do so by through a competent and a qualified person that will be able to oversee the financial turnaround of the municipality for the sake of the residents of Matjhabeng. That's why the NCOP has done so. That is under the chairperson of NCOP, Ntate Masondo. But still, the ANC, they did nothing. Now, the question that we need to ask ourselves here, it is clear that ANC, there is no leadership. There is a lack of political will to protect the people of South Africa, because they did nothing with this letter that comes from Parliament to say they must definitely intervene with the finance of the municipality. Because this
are you
municipality
represented in the provincial legislature of the Free State as Actionsa? Are you represented in the provincial legislature of the Free State?
We are not represented, but the coming the elections will be represented. But I do have a copy from the National Council of Province. I will send it to you. This is a copy from the chairperson, Tate Masondo, that he wrote to Tate policy. But the question is, why the ANC, they are keeping quiet? Because they managed to remove Zuma with the serious allegation. They managed to remove Ace Magashule with the serious allegations that he was facing. Why now are they ignoring this mayor? This mayor, it is also alleged that he instructed even the municipal manager to illegally appoint people into high position. I remember last year, in 2022, December, when the municipal manager was appointed, as Actionsa, we are one of the party that we objected for the appointment of the municipal manager himself, because the municipal manager himself, he was from Bito, where he was dismissed, and when he was dismissed with serious allegations and a financial misconduct, it is alleged to. And secondly, when he left Bito, he has a serious allegation where he paid 23 million for a value of a land, that value 2.4. And according further, when he was applying to become a municipal manager in Nelson Mandela, the very same municipal manager now in Matjhabeng, according to Section 17C of the Municipal System Act, he is supposed to declare his wherever, even if he was dismissed somewhere else where there was any financial misconduct. He misrepresented that, he didn't declare that. So that is it's a serious offense. But what happened to Matjhabeng? Matjhabeng, they employ him knowing that he's having the cloud on top of his head. That is why this municipality, it's not working for the people. The same.
Now tell me, like with your complaint to the public protector, why take the route of the public protector instead of maybe a different approach, like say take to the Hawks, like the allegations against the mayor instead of the public protector?
The reason why we approach the SIU, the public protector, and the AG with the AG is because all these things, even the court case that he lost, there are cost implications. So that's money that's supposed to be paid for service delivery, because there's no service delivery in Matjhabeng. That's why we wanted the Office of the Auditor General to probe into these allegations, because they've got a huge implications. This municipality, there's no service delivery at all. That's why we want the Auditor General to probe into this matter. And if you can check almost their annual report, over and over, the AG has been complaining about that municipality. And the reason why we took the matter to the SIU, if you check the court, the recent court application that was made by the mayor himself and the MM and the council, that was at the High Court in Gauteng. It was on the 8th of October as an urgent application. The SIU is one of the respondents. So it clearly shows that he doesn't want to work with all state institutions. That's why we want now the SIU to probe into this. They must investigate exactly what happened to all these allegations.
How do you respond to his dismissal around the ownership of that house?
It is up to the state institutions that I just mentioned. He can deny everything and come with a straight face in front of any TV screen. But the people of Matjhabeng, they are the one now who are sick and tired of this maladministration, poor leadership, because under his leadership, the Matjhabeng municipality is deteriorating. The people of Matjhabeng, they are the one to remove ANC out of power. For him to come in front of media to say he doesn't know anything, it's not going to save the situation. People are living in an environment that are not even habitable for anyone. Just imagine your own house. It is flooded. You are immersed in a sewage. And there comes the mayor, stand in front of the television and claim that he doesn't do anything. And it shows that he's somebody who has lost touch with the reality. Because when you are a mayor, you look after the interest of people. You could see in Welkom, there is no collection of refuse. It's not collected. There's sewer everywhere. Nothing is working. There's a collapsed government in that place. So it clearly shows even that letter.
These problems that you are highlighting have existed since before 2021, when Kalipa was elected as the mayor of that municipality. Historically, I think that problem, because I pass through Welkom sometimes, you are correct, you did correct, like the stench of the sewer, raw sewage, like you can smell it from a distance. Now that has existed for some time. Why do you think it's now solely this administration's responsibility to deal with it? What proposals is Action SA coming up with in order to resolve some of these problems, especially the service delivery related kind of problems, like the sewer and like the things that you've mentioned?
Thamsanqa, you must remember that's as a mayor or as government, for you to change the life of people, you must start having the people with required skills. people who are competent to do the job. You cannot expect somebody who is not a surgeon to do a heart operation. What do you expect? You won't do anything. Look at Maluti in Kwakwa. That municipality is the same as Thabomfuzanyane, as Matjhabeng, where the service has collapsed. But it's to show that ANC doesn't respect the people of South Africa. Instead of coming with somebody with knowledge, with skills, a political leader who's going to improve the governance and the life of people, you know what they did? They went to appoint somebody who can't even read. What does it say? So the same with this municipality. It clearly shows that ANC, they don't care. But it is up to the people of Free State now to say now we're tired of this uncaring government that doesn't take us serious. And then now, if you count from the 1st of October to now, the letter that comes from Parliament, a National Council of Province, it is the highest parliament in this country. But still, the Premier and his provincial executive, they've done nothing. They should have suspended Khalipa with immediate effect while all these allegations, all these allegations are investigated. That's how you deal with corruption. Because if you don't hold people accountable, they will continue to do what they are doing. And something that we need to understand, the people who are suffering are the ordinary South African people. They don't have service.
I want us to conclude by giving you just maybe about a minute or two to tell us that if Action SA were to win the majority seats in the Free State in the next election, what changes can people expect to see in the Free State?
Firstly, municipal managers should be supposed to be men and women of integrity. People who respect, who doesn't have criminal record, because if somebody is having criminal
so you will immediately dismiss all these other municipal managers that you don't regard as having integrity.
Those who are having criminal record, you must forget. Under Action SA, we are not going to allow our government to be led by criminals. Criminals belongs to jail. That's point number one. Municipality need to be capacitated to render service so that the economy of the country must grow. If municipality can repair the road, there must be consistent electricity, there must be clean water, the business will thrive. If you support the small entrepreneurs business, because those are the people who stimulate the economy of the province and of the municipality. And we should make sure that we work with the private sector. And we also do oversight to the private sector, because there are also corruption in the private sector. When Action SA took over, corruption is number one that we need to fight for. We need to professionalize, make sure that government is run by people who've got the skills, who've got integrity. Secondly, our hospitals must be run by competent people. Now, for example, our people, the nurses and doctors, they are overwhelmed. They work extra hours. There is no resources. The Office of Standard of Compliance that was established when Tate Professor Malkhapuru is the first, our ombudsman, it must be given the teeth so that it must investigate and adjudicate on the matter. That body must report directly to Parliament, not to the minister. How can you report to somebody that you are investigating? Those are the amendments that we are going to do as Action SA. Here in the Free State, we still have areas that are tribal, still having the traditional leaders. In terms of where there are tribal areas, we are going to make sure we work with the kings and queens, because you remember they brought dignity to the society, discipline to the society. Now, ANC, when they come into power, they ignore those people, Mupedi and whoever, because those people, they were assisting the community now. If a child grows, how he must behave, how he must be disciplined. There's no discipline. One of the things that we are going to do is to fight for law. We need to make sure that people of South African, we respect the rule of law. No one is above the law. If the rule of law was working, Khalipa wouldn't have been there under Actionsa government. The rule of law, it says that it doesn't matter who occupies the position. When you are wrong, you are on the other side of the law. You must definitely be prosecuted. And people who are fined with serious crime, they must get punishment. Nowadays, our prison, they are like holidays. We saw what happened to Thabo Bester. We have people that are not vetted. That's how they manage to help the people who are in prison, the workers there. They help Thabo to escape. So we don't want such people. So Actionsa will make sure that we have people who have integrity, who will do the job. Something that is also important with our court system, we want to capacitate them. There must be different courts so that all the cases that are there must be. Now somebody, look what happened to Nandipa. Now she's going to stay in jail for a very long time, eating our taxpayers' money, relaxing, doing what? They must feel the pain when they are in jail. That's something that we'll be fighting, that we are going to do as Actionsa when we get into government. It's one of the things that we'll do. Education is one of the fundamental things.
A lot that you and I can talk about. I can see that you have a lot definitely to tell us. Perhaps let's schedule another. All the best with all the work that you're doing in the Free State and nationally. But yeah, thank you very much. I think we'll speak with our producer to schedule more time with you.
Thank you, Tammy. But I want to say to the people of South Africa, you are the one who put this corrupt government. You are the one to vote this corrupt government out of power. Comes the 18th and the 19th, go and register. We vote for Actionsa so that we can change South Africa. The power is in our hands. Let's leave these criminals. We want freedom, because ordinary freedom on the ballot paper is not going to help us. Those who think that they're not going to vote, they punish ANC, is the biggest mistake. Come up in huge numbers to vote this government out of power. Actionsa is ready to help you to fix South Africa.
Thank you. Thank you very much, May.
Thank you, Thamsanqa. Thank you.
That was Patricia Kopane, the leader, chairperson of the Actionsa Free State. What a wonderful interview. We are out. We shall be back with a third part of the current review. I think right now we'll be talking to Israel Fantisi. Let you know about that in a minute. Cool.